Hello again, everyone. My name is James Shotwell. This is Music Biz, and today I'm going to give you 5 reasons why you're not achieving your goals. Now, these can be different for every single person. Maybe not all 5 apply to you, but these are the reasons why you can't seem to get over that hump that stands between you and the place you want to be in your life and career. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, this video wasn't on my schedule. This isn't something I was planning to create. But recently, I found myself in a similar position where I was becoming frustrated with my position in life, what I was doing, and what I was achieving or not achieving. There was just something that wasn't there, and it was really starting to burn me out on music as a whole. But after really thinking about it and putting some effort into who I was and who I wanted to become, I think I figured it out, and I wanted to share all of my findings with you, starting with the fact that it's perfectly normal to feel burnt out, to feel like things aren't going well, to feel like you're stuck in the mud, to feel like every single day is repeating the same routine, getting the same results, and you're starting to think maybe you're insane for just continuing on this path because the things you want to happen aren't happening. But let me tell you, we can cure this. We can get through it, and I'm going to tell you how right now. So the first thing that we really need to ask ourselves is whether or not our goals are our own. Now let me give you an example of this. Maybe you've spent your entire career trying to reach a point where you can play to a stadium filled with 10,000 people. And maybe you've gotten there, or maybe you're well on your way, but you're still not feeling fulfilled. This isn't making you happy. This isn't making you feel like you're doing the thing that you were meant to be doing in your life. Or maybe your goal was financial. Maybe you said that by the age of 30, you were going to be making X amount of money per year, or you were going to play this many shows or release this many albums, whatever it happens to be. And it's not doing for you what you thought it would, and I'm going to say that there's a good chance that's because it's not your goal. This goal is something that you determined based on something somebody said to you, or what you feel society dictates that you should do, what you feel some unspoken, unwritten rule makes you do. And it doesn't have to be. You don't have to want to play in 10,000 person arenas. I know lots of artists who have very fulfilling, successful careers that make them very happy that will never play at an arena or stadium level, and that's perfectly fine because it's not what makes them happy. And you need to figure that out for yourself. Take stock of what your goals are. In fact, if you haven't done so before getting this far into the video, write them down. Write down the top 5 goals that you have in your mind. And as we go through the remaining 4 questions I want you to ask yourself, think about whether those goals are things that you actually want or things that you feel you should want because of what somebody else told you. The next thing I want you to ask yourself is whether or not you have specific goals. Now, I know a lot of people that have very vague goals, and while those can help you get started, they're going to get a lot harder to fulfill as time goes on. You need to know exactly what you're doing and why you're doing it. So for example, I know a lot of artists who tell me that they want to have a hit song, but they don't really define what that means. Because a hit song could be a lot of things. Do you want to have a track that goes viral on a social media platform? Do you want to be #1 on the Billboard charts? Do you want to write a song that's going to make more money immediately, as in the streams or sales are going to generate a lot of income? Are you looking for a song that's going to put more butts in seats at your shows? Because not all hit songs actually translate to ticket sales. Some one-hit wonders don't actually sell that well on tour, but the song can be very successful. So we have to ask ourselves, what is it that you want? What are the specific goals you want? Because when you say something like, I want a hit song, there are so many things that could mean, so many reasons why you could want that hit song, and you have to figure out what those are, or else you'll never know what you're working towards. Vaguely defined parameters of goals make people go all over the place trying to find the right path or the right answer or the right guide. But if you set a specific goal, I want to make more money this year, I want to write a song that sells 10,000 copies, well then we're focused on something very, very specific that we can tell somebody else and they can picture it as well, so that we can build a team around ourselves to make those dreams a reality. Next up, going along with this idea of making sure we have specific goals, I need you to ask yourself, what is your plan? Okay, let's say that you have that goal, you want to make another $10,000 this year. How are we going to get there? What are the exact steps? A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, whatever it happens to be. What are you going to do to make sure that you reach that point and make them incremental steps along the way? You can't just say, I'm going to write a hit song, then I'm going to have more money. You need to get way more specific. We're going to write more songs, we're going to record more songs, we're going to put out more songs, we're going to market them in this way, we're going to hire this person to work with us, we're going to push them here, push them there, do this kind of physical media, anything that you can come up with to actually press that song moving forward. Because what happens all too often is that we tell ourselves we want to do things without having any real way of doing them. We say, I'm going to be healthier, or eat healthier, or lose weight, or sell more tickets to this next tour, and then we just kind of try whatever we think of to achieve that goal, but that's not really an efficient way to get there. And in fact, many people who try that approach never reach their goals because they don't have a plan. So if you haven't gotten that far yet, it's time to take a step back and think about it. What are the incremental steps? And don't take big leaps between each one. Make it as specific as possible, because a bonus of this is that you get to create to-do lists. And every time you check one thing off, you'll know and you'll get a little dose of serotonin because you're getting one step closer to achieving that goal. The plan is coming to fruition. So if you don't have one yet, make one. The next question I want you to ask yourself is, who are you surrounding yourself with? And before you get slick and try to tell me, nobody, I'm a lone wolf, that's a problem. That's a problem almost as much as surrounding yourself with the wrong people, because nobody is an island. Nobody gets into this industry and makes it to the top of the mountain or even anywhere up near the middle of the mountain on their own. It takes a team. Just like there used to be a saying that it takes a village to raise a child. It takes the whole community of people working together to give a child everything that they need to become a well-adjusted human being. And I think the same applies in music to some extent. If you want to be a successful manager, booking agent, musician, pop star, whatever it happens to be, you need a team of people. You need more than just yourself. So you have to not only surround yourself with other people, but you have to make sure that they're the right people to help you stay on track to achieve your goals. Because you could surround yourself with other people who have similar goals in mind, but if their behaviors don't align with yours, it won't work out. For example, if you're somebody who's completely sober, you can't really be working with musicians and other professionals who think that all work is done over a pint of beer, because eventually there's going to be some tension there that just doesn't work well for you. So a big part of achieving our goals is finding our community, finding our pack, finding that group of people who will lift one another up and support each other while pursuing individual goals. People who know what they want, know how they're going to get there, and will hopefully work with you to make sure that everyone achieves their goals. That's what you're going for. And finally, this is going to be a tough one. But if you want to know why you're not achieving your goals, I need you to take a hard look into the mirror and ask yourself, why do you quit? Why do you give up? Why do you let things stop you? What is standing in your way that you have allowed to stand in your way because you're too afraid or unsure or don't know how to overcome it? What is that thing? Because we all encounter them all the time. But let me tell you, I've been in music for almost 15 years at this point, working full time for the better part of 12 of those years. And in all that time, I have yet to feel like I've achieved all of my goals in the industry. But there have been at least 10,000 moments where I thought about quitting. Heck, this exact week when I'm making this video, I've probably thought about whether or not I'm doing what I should be doing with my life or if I should just quit and start all over at least 3 times. It happens to everyone in this business all of the time. Musicians from the top down. I know people who are playing stadiums who still question whether or not they are a good artist, whether or not people actually like them or they just are obsessed with a catchy melody that they wrote. Self-doubt and all of that junk affects every single one of us. But the people who actually achieve their goals, especially in the entertainment industry, don't let any of those self-doubts, any setbacks, any hurdles, any people in positions of power with a bone to pick with them stand in their way. They find a way. They adjust, they pivot, they do whatever they have to do to keep going. Now, of course, there are situations where you have to stop, whether that be a horrible accident or you find yourself surrounded by a lot of negativity and bad behaviors that will eventually pull you down into something much worse than where you are right now. And in all of those situations, absolutely get out. But if you're quitting or if you're allowing the world to dictate whether or not you're allowed to achieve your dreams rather than just fighting tooth and nail to get there, well then you're the reason you're not achieving those goals. It's not the world, because the world's hard to all of us. We live in an uncaring universe filled with billions of creatures, most of whom don't know that you exist, never will, and absolutely don't care. And the ones that do and take an issue with it, well, just disregard them. I know that it's hard. I struggle with it myself. Every time we see a negative comment on our videos, heck, every time someone gives us a thumbs down on a video, I take it personally for several days at a time. But we keep going because this is what we want to do with our lives. We get one trip around the sun together on this planet in this moment, and I'm going to do with it what I want, and I want that for you. So think about it. What are you allowing to stop you from doing what you want to do? And how can you overcome it, work around it, or figure out an entirely new approach so that you avoid it altogether? But it's time to stop letting those things hold you back. You can do this. I believe in you. And if you want specific help on the music industry, be that how to find a booking agent, how to find a manager, how to find a publicist, what to do when you're ready to promote your next single, or a million other things in between, well, that's why this channel exists. Music Biz is here to help you figure out the modern music industry, and I, James Shotwell, am your host. And I'm happy to be here with you, and I hope that you will click the subscribe button down below and join us for all of our future videos and dig through our archives. There are several hundred clips in there, and I think you'll find something that you love. But if you're already subscribing, please do me a favor and take care of yourself, because you deserve it.